Hello everyone. Today we'll be learning about integers. To be specific, this is the part 1 of integers video. So today we'll be learning about addition of integers. I've prepared few rules for you in integers so that if you master these rules, I can guarantee you won't go wrong with this topic. Doesn't matter if you're in grade 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 or 12. If you remember these rules, you'll be good to go. So let's begin. So let's look at rule 1. So what does the rule 1 say? It says plus A plus B is equals to plus C. What does that mean? So if you see A, B and C are just some random numbers. What I mean by random numbers. So you can say A can be 1, 2, 3, doesn't matter, whatever you like, right? B can be the same, 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 1,000, as you prefer. So C is the same, right? But C is the outcome. So if you add A and B, C will be your answer, right? That's why where A, B and C are some random numbers and C represents the answer. So now, what does this rule say? If you add a positive A with a positive B, then your answer will certainly be positive C, correct? So for instance, if I say plus 2 plus 3, I should get plus C. That's what this rule says. So let's take an example and see if this makes sense. Okay? So first example, let's say our first example will be plus 3 plus 5. Right? So if we say plus 3 plus 5, one tip that I always like to give to my students is that always remember to use number line. Right now the number seems smaller, right? But as you go further, the number gets bigger. There is negative numbers added into it. So then you get trouble calculating them. So it's better to be safe than to be smart, right? So let's draw a number line and do this. So let's draw a number line, right? We know we are on positive 3, right? So we can add positive 3. We know we need to go 5 units. Where, right or left? We'll know that by the sign, right? So the sign is positive. It means we'll be going 5 units to the right. So let's go to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So now, what are the numbers to the right of positive 3? We know these are plus 4, plus 5, plus 6, plus 7, plus 8. Perfect. We moved 5 units, and if we go 5 units to the right, we get the answer as 8. Therefore, our answer is plus 8. Right? So we can see our rule said if we have a positive A, which is positive 3, positive B, which is positive 5, our answer will be positive C, which is positive 8. So we can see that it actually works. So let's move on to the rule 2 and see what does the rule 2 says. So now, what does the rule 2 says? The rule 2 says that plus A minus B is equals to question mark. So why did I put the question mark? Because in this scenario, we have two alternatives. So we got two different things. So what are those two different things? We got first, A is greater than B. So what I mean is, A can be 5 and B can be 2. So A will always be bigger and B will always be smaller. So in that case, what happens? If you see, if A is bigger than B, then the answer will be positive, right? So if you say plus A minus B is equals to plus C. So if you say A is bigger than B, then your answer will always be positive C. So let's do this by giving an example. So let's say we got plus 22 minus 4. We know our answer will be positive. So we can, without any doubt, write a positive sign. Right? Now all we need is the answer. So let's go and find that answer. We draw a number line. Always number line is our friend whenever we do integers addition, right? If you are able to do number lines properly, you will be winning in this topic. So we got positive 22, okay, but we have to move 4 units to where, as we said in rule 1, it was positive, that's why we moved to the right. But now we know it's a negative sign, so it means we'll be moving to the left. Perfect. So let's put plus 22 here, and then we're moving 4 units to the left because of the negative sign. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So what are the numbers left of positive 22? They are decreasing, right? So it means we got positive 21, positive 20, positive 19, and positive 18. So our answer is positive 18. As you can see, we are already aware of our sign. It was positive. All we need to know was 18. If we calculated and we found our answer to be negative, it means we know that our rule said if A is greater than B and plus A minus B, then our answer should be plus C. So if it was negative, we would have known that our answer is wrong. So can you see how this rule helps us to see what our answer will be? Okay, good. So let's move on. So now, what does the scenario 2 of rule 2 says? It says A is less than B. So if A is less than B, then the answer will always be negative. So if we have positive A minus B is equals to minus C. So if A is smaller than B, then the answer will always be C. So let's look at it. So if we have positive 5 minus 6, it says the answer will always be negative. So without any doubt, you can put a negative. Now, as I said, you go and ask for help from your friend. Who's your friend? The number line. So let's draw a number line. We are on positive 5. We need to go 6 units to where? We look at the sign. We are going to the left because it is negative. So let's write positive 5 and we're going 6 units to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now what are the numbers to the left of positive 5? They are decreasing, right? So we got positive 4, positive 3, positive 2, positive 1, 0 and negative 1. As you can see, the rule already knew. It said if A is less than B and we got plus A minus B, then your answer will always be negative C. Can you see our answer is negative 1? We already knew the sign. Therefore, our answer is negative 1. So these were the two scenarios of rule 2. First scenario was A greater than B and the second scenario was A less than B. Let's move on to rule 3 and see what the rule 3 has to say. Just like the rule 2, the rule 3 also has two scenarios. So what does the rule 3 says? The rule 3 says minus A plus B is equals to question mark, right? So the first rule is A greater than B. So if A is greater than B, then the answer will be always negative. So we know if you have minus A plus B is equals to minus C. So let's take an example and see. So if we say minus and then let's say 9 plus 4. So according to the rule, we know already the sign will be negative. So let's cast our friend, the number line. Let's draw a number line. We know on the number line we are on negative 9. We have to move 4 units, but to where? We look at the sign, we know we're moving to the right. So we have negative 9. Then we go 1, 2, 3, and 4. So what are the numbers to the right of negative 9? They are increasing, right? So it means we'll have negative 8, negative 7, negative 6, negative 5. So as we can see, we knew our sign was negative, we just never knew what the answer is. So we have confirmed from number line that our answer is negative 5. So we can just come and put 5. So that was the scenario 1 of rule 3. Let's look at the scenario 2 of rule 3. So now, what does the scenario 2 of rule 3 says? It says, if A is less than B, then the answer will always be positive. So if A is smaller than B, then your answer will always be positive. Let's look at this rule by means of an example. So let's take a number, minus, let's choose a number, let's say 4, plus, and now B should be bigger than A. So let's take a number 6. So let's ask our friend, number line, we draw a number line, and then we are currently on minus 4 and we need to move 6 units. Where do we need to move? We ask the sign. The sign is positive, it means we're moving to the right. So you write negative 4 and 6 units to the right. So move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So what are the numbers to the right of negative 4? They are increasing, right? So we got negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1 and 2. From our rule, we know our sign will always be positive. So we know already that it will be positive. So all we needed to worry was about what is our answer. So we know our sign was positive and we know our answer is positive 2. So it means we can confirm that our answer is right because our sign is positive. So now let's move on to rule 4 and see how that works. Now the last rule, rule 4. This is one of my favorite rules because it's easy. It says minus A minus B is equals to minus C. Right? So if you have minus A and minus B, your answer will always be minus. So if both the signs, which is negative, are same, then simply add the random numbers, which is A and B, and write the negative sign in front of it. So what do I mean? Let's look at an example. So if we have minus 2, minus 3, according to our rule, we know our answer will be negative. So we write a negative sign. What does it say? We simply add A plus B, right? So this is easy because it's a small number. We know 2 plus 3 is 5. But like I said, the numbers get complicated. So let's ask our friend the number line. Now we draw a number line and we are currently on negative 2. We need to move 3 units. But to where? The sign says negative, it means we're moving to the left. So we write negative 2 and then we move 3 units. 1, 2 and 3. The numbers to the left of negative 2 are decreasing. So we have negative 3, negative 4 and negative 5. Hence our answer is negative 5. So you can see how easy rule 4 was. Negative A, negative B is equals to negative C. Now that we have gone through all the rules, let's look at them in summary. So what was our rule 1? The rule 1 said plus A plus B is equals to plus C. One thing I would like to point out on this rules is, here what matters are the sign. The numbers that you use will always be positive. So these rules are in terms of the sign. Can you see here we have positive, negative, negative, positive, and negative. So don't worry about what the number is. We'll get back to that in the next video. Right now, you need to know that A and B will always be positive number, right? They won't be negative number, they will be only positive number. So what did the rule 1 say? Plus A plus B is equals to plus C. It means if the sign of A is positive and sign of B is positive, then our answer will always be positive. Now the rule 2 has 2 scenarios where we said if A is greater than B, then the sign of A is positive and the sign of B is negative, then our answer will always be positive. And now the scenario 2 says if A is less than B, then if the sign of A is positive and the sign of B is negative, then the answer will always be negative. Now the rule 3 says If A is greater than B and the sign of A is negative and the sign of B is positive, then our answer will be equal to negative. And the scenario 2 says if A is less than B, then if A sign is negative and B sign is positive, then the outcome will be positive C. And finally, the last rule, if we have the same sign, if the sign of A and sign of B is negative, then your answer will be negative C. You simply add A and B and put a negative sign in front of it. This rule is just same as rule 1. Rule 4 and rule 1 are almost the same. Can you see here we have positive sign, here we have negative sign. And you can see the result difference. Here the outcome will be positive, here the outcome will be negative. So in summary, these are all the rules for your integer additions. Make sure you create notes of this, write it on a paper, and make sure you practice. Before you move on to the next one, it's very important you understand all these rules. So now, we'll be moving on to do some examples. And while we do those examples, we'll be referring back to these rules. So let's move on to the examples. Now, let's work with the first example. When I do the example, try to work along with me. So try referring back to the rule. If you look at the question, you can see it's plus 24 minus 4. Which rule do you recall? Correct. That's rule 2, right? But we know rule 2 had two scenarios, A greater than B and A less than B. Now if I look at this, I find that A is greater than B. So it means I know my outcome will be positive C. So I already know my answer should be positive. So let's go and see. So let's draw a number line. We draw a number line, and then currently we are on 25, positive 25 to be specific, and we need to move 4 units, but to where? We look at our sign is negative, so correct, we need to move to the left. So we start from 25 and then we move 4 units to the left. So we move 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the numbers to the left of positive 25 are all decreasing. So it means these are positive 24, positive 23, positive 22 and positive 21. From our outcome, we already knew that our answer was positive. As you can see, our answer is positive. Hence, positive 24 minus 4, the answer is positive 21. Looking at number 2, which rule do you think applies here? Rule 4, right? Correct. Because we can see we got minus A and minus B. So what did rule 4 said? If we have minus A and minus B, it means our outcome will be minus C. Hence we already know our outcome should be negative. So let's ask our friend number line. Let's draw a number line. And we can see currently we are on negative 2. And we need to move 6 units, but to where? We look at the sign, negative, we're moving to the left. Hence, we write negative 2 and we move 6 units to the left. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the numbers to the left of negative 2 are all decreasing. So we got negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7 and negative 8. According to our rule 4, our outcome should be negative C. Hence we can see we got the answer as negative 8. So negative 2, negative 6 gives us the answer of negative 8. That is our answer. Did you also get the same answer? Now let's look at number 3. Number 3 says negative 5 plus 4. Now pause the video, go back to your notes and check which rule is it, and try doing the entire sum on your own, and then come back and see my outcome. Okay, so when you say negative 5 plus 4, that's negative A plus 4. Oh, we can see that's rule 3, right? Sorry, that should be B. That's a rule 3. But in rule 3, we know there are two scenarios. What are those? A greater than B and A less than B. If we see here, we can see A is greater than B. So it means we know our outcome will be negative C, right? Let's ask our friend number line. We go back to the number line, we draw. We know we are currently on negative 5 and we are moving 4 units to the right because it's a positive 4. So we start on negative 5 and we go 4 units to the right. 1, 2, 3 and 4. So what are numbers to the right of negative 5? They are all increasing. So we got negative 4, negative 3, negative 2 and negative 1. Hence our answer is negative 1. As our outcome told us, our answer will be negative. Let's move on to the next one. Number 4 says negative 4 plus 6. Which rule is it? It's a negative A plus B. Oh, again, that's rule 3, correct? But now, which one is it? Because it has two scenarios. Again, we can see A is 4 and B is 6. So it means A is less than B. So what did scenario 2 of rule 3 say? It said that if A is less than B, then the answer should be a positive C. Right? So we know our answer should be positive C. Let's draw a number line and see if that is right. Currently we are on negative 4. We need to move 6 units to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Numbers to the right of negative 4 are all bigger than that. Negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1 and 2. So as you can see, we knew our outcome should be positive and our answer is positive 2. Now number 5 says 4 plus 5. What rule is that? You must be thinking, right? There is no sign in front of a 4. But our old rule has signs. Always remember, if there is no sign in front of a number, that number is always a positive. There is an invisible positive sign. So if there is no sign, then that is equals to positive sign. So as you can see, here we got 4 plus 5, but there is no sign in front of a 4. So you must think, in your mind, there should be a positive, invisible positive in front of a 4. So it should be like this, right? There's always a positive in front of a 4. So now when you look at this, positive 4 plus 5, what rule is that? Correct. Rule 1. We got plus A plus B. We know that if we have both positive side, then our outcome is positive as well. So if we ask our number line, what is 4 plus 5? Currently we are on 4 and we are going 4 units to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So what is 4 plus 5? 4, right of 4, all are increasing, plus 5, plus 6, plus 7, plus 8, plus 9. So therefore, our answer is positive 9. Now that we have gone through the easy ones and we have known our rules, now let's move on to the difficult ones. So as you can see, number 6 says 5 minus 6 plus 3 minus 2. Don't be worried. All you need to do is to solve 2 by 2. Don't go and solve everything at once. So first we'll take the first two numbers. So first two numbers, we can see that that is plus 5. As I told you, if there is no sign, it is invisible positive. So it's plus 5 minus 6. So it is plus A minus B. We know this is rule 2, correct? And in the rule 2, which scenario is it? We have our A is less than B. Therefore, this is scenario 2. We know our outcome will be negative. So let's ask number line. We are on 5 and we'll be moving 6 units to the left because of negative. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. numbers to the left of positive 5 are all decreasing. Plus 4, plus 3, plus 2, plus 1, 0 and minus 1. So we know plus 5 minus 6 gave us minus 1. So we have minus 1. Since we are done with this two, now you write the question as it is. Plus 3 minus 2. Now we solve the first two again. So we take these two. What is minus 1 plus 3? So we can see that's minus a plus b. That is rule 3. Our rule 3, but 1 is less than 3, and this is scenario 2. So if 1 is less than 3, and according to scenario 2, our answer should be positive c. So let's ask the number line. So we go and write negative 1, and we're moving 3 units to the right. 1, 2, 3. So to the right of negative 1 are all increasing. We got 0, 1 and 2. These are the positive. So our answer is positive 2. And now we're done with this 2. You write the question as it is. We remain with only negative 2. Now this is our question now. Positive 2 minus 2. So if you look at this 2, this is positive a minus b. So we know this one is our second rule. So second rule, but they are both the same, right? So let's see what happens. Since they are both the same, it will be positive. So we'll draw our number line. And then according to our number line, we are currently on plus 2. And we need to move 2 units to the left. So if we move 1 and 2, and then if you are moving to the left, it means it's decreasing. So it's plus 1 and 0. Hence, our answer is 0. Can you see how we solve this step by step using our rules? So when you write these rules, as you practice more and more and more, this rule will get in your head, and you won't need them to do it on the paper. You'll just do it in your head and you'll be able to solve it. Now next, I'll give you few sums. Do it as your homework, and in the next video we'll walk through them. I'll explain you the answers, and then you'll be able to see how far are you with this topic. This is your homework of the week for the addition of integers. Make sure when you do the homework, you do it using the way I did it. So make sure when you do it, first you ask yourself, what is the rule? If you find the rule, ask, does it have a scenario? If it has a scenario, ask which scenario it is, and then use a number line to solve it. If you use this method, it will be slower in the starting, but as you do more and more examples, what will happen? You'll see these rules will start to get in your head. The number lines will become a normal thing for you, and then for you doing these sums will become very easy. It is going to take you time for the first time when you do it, but don't lose hope. Just do your homework and make sure you come to the next video and then watch the next video and see how I've solved this. I hope you guys enjoyed today's lesson on integer additions. Comment down in the comment box below and tell me what you think about today's lesson. In the next video, I'll be doing the solution to the homework provided. Make sure to do your homework. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share with your friends. Until then, study and stay safe.